Joining me now is Congresswoman Louise Slaughter, Democrat from New York and co-chair of the Congressional Pro-Choice Caucus, and Laura Bassett, a journalist who covers women issues for the Huffington Post. Thank you both for being on the show tonight.
Happy to do it.
Thanks for having me.
Congresswoman, does Paul Ryan have a Todd Akin problem?
He sure does. As a matter of fact, the whole GOP in the House has that problem. H.R. 3 was passed with every single Republican voting for it. That's the bill that redefined rape.
When you say redefine rape...
Paul Ryan was an original co-sponsor.
When you say redefine rape, that Paul Ryan and Akin both co-sponsored, that's when they said forced rape. So explain to me what rape is that is not forced.
Oh, Reverend, I can't fathom those minds. Obviously, if there's an oxymoron, it's legitimate rape. I absolutely cannot tell you what they're thinking about. But could you believe that Congressman Akin is on the Science Committee?
No, that I didn't know. Well, let me go to you, Laura. They're saying legitimate rape. They're saying forced rape. I mean, it's a total... not only misconstruing of what rape is, but it's an insult to women who've already been traumatized and victimized. It's somehow making the victim some kind of, I don't even know how you would describe it. It is the ultimate insult, though, to women, particularly women who've suffered this.
Absolutely, and it reflects a fundamental distrust for women. If you look at what he said had two components. The first is that there's such thing as legitimate rape, which means there's such thing as illegitimate rape, right. Which is just one way of saying that there are some women who've said they've been raped and they're lying. The other component of what he said is that women who have been raped can't become pregnant for some biological reason. And in saying this as a defense, for a policy that would oppose abortion in cases of rape is basically saying if a woman goes into an abortion clinic and says that she's been raped and that she's pregnant as a result, that she is lying. This is basically saying that women aren't telling the truth when they've been raped, and it's inconvenient. It's an inconvenient thing for him to say, but it's not an inconsistent thing for him to say. Absolutely in terms of what the rest of the Republican Party has said before and has codified into law.
Well, Congresswoman, on that particular point, the platform committee of the Republican Party took a vote in Tampa this morning, approving anti-abortion language in the party platform. The platform will, quote, contain language endorsing a new constitutional amendment protecting human life, language that is silent on the question of whether the party believes abortion should be allowed in cases of rape and incest. So the party is big on this issue.
Yes, they are. We voted on it 12 times in the House of Representatives in this term. And I will tell you that it's a part of the war on women. They are trying to push us back to the 1950s. I represent Western New York, where the women's rights movement began, and we are not going back.
Well, let me go back to you, Laura. The Republican National Committee Chair, Reince Priebus, was on this station, MSNBC, this morning. He said the Republican Party is a pro-life party. And even before this Akin controversy, the Obama campaign had produced an ad that really hit Ryan and Romney on women's health and abortion. Listen to this.
We're a pro-life.
He's made his choice. But what choices will women be left with? Just like Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan would get rid of Planned Parenthood funding. In Congress, Ryan voted to ban all federal funding for Planned Parenthood and allow employers to deny women access to cancer screenings and birth control. And both Romney and Ryan backed proposals to outlaw abortion, even in cases of rape and incest.
So, Laura, with the Akin controversy, with all of this coming up, will this become a major issue and a decisive issue in this race? Yeah. The president and the vice president on one side of this discussion, and clearly the other side represented in the most extreme ways by Mr. Romney and Ryan?
This is absolutely going to be a major influence in this race. It's Romney's personal nightmare because he and Ryan and the Republicans have been trying to change the conversation from social issues, from so-called women's issues, back to jobs, back to the economy. And this has just highlighted the fact that abortion is something that the GOP cares deeply about. We see from their platform today, which is the same as their platform in 2008 and in 2004, and it has a constitutional ban on abortion without an exception for rape victims, without an exception for incest victims. This is a bedrock of the Republican Party platform, and I think Romney wanted to distract voters from that, and he no longer can.
Well, Congresswoman, politically, he has reason to want to distract them. If you look at people who run on these extreme platforms, they lost. Christine O'Donnell tried to run for Delaware Senate seat with firm stances against abortion, homosexuality, and premarital sex. She lost. Sharon Angle tried to get the Nevada Senate seat with a campaign that opposed abortion under any circumstances. She lost. Ken Buck ran for the Colorado Senate seat, opposed abortion, including in the case of incest or rape, and supported a state constitutional amendment that gave rights to fetuses. He lost. Not a good track record for these extreme views when they face voters.
I believe that saying that the party is pro-life is going to be very damaging to the party. Numerous Republicans, large numbers of Republicans that I know are not. And it was the Republican women basically who started Planned Parenthood. But while the Democrats in the House were trying very hard to get middle-class tax cuts and to do bills that would create jobs, we voted over and over again to repeal health care and these kinds of bills that redefined rape, of all things. I can't imagine any family in America that has any interest in redefining rape, but they have a lot of interest in making sure there's going to be a job for themselves and for the children in the future. We've got to stop this nonsense.
Yeah.
I want America to take a really good look at the persons who now serve in the Congress of the United States. This is not new to me. I've been hearing this same thing, this notion that women can't get pregnant if they're raped. Well, that's going to be news to about 39,000 women a year in the United States.
Wow.
It is one of the most insane things I have ever heard in my life, with absolutely nothing to bear. I do not understand at this moment why we have not heard more from the medical profession telling the country the nonsense of that entire notion. Don't believe it's just Aiken. Remember what I said. When this bill came to the floor, every Republican in the House voted for it, even though I know that many of them, some of them that I've worked with there for many years, did not believe that.
Well, Congresswoman, you're right. Every Republican, including Paul Ryan, voted for that bill.
Absolutely, including Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan has said that nobody.
Congresswoman Louise Slaughter and Laura Bassett, thank you both for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.